Ever looked up at a towering skyscraper, driven across a
Yeah.
sprawling highway, or, admired a beautifully restored historic building and wondered, well, what intricate dance brought it all to life?
hmm
It's far more than just bricks and mortar, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's an incredibly complex, constantly evolving symphony. You've got meticulous planning, financial know-how, human coordination.
An unwavering precision.
Yeah,
Exactly.
all working together.
So today, we're embarking on a deep dive into this fascinating world, modern construction management.
Right?
We're going to trace its remarkable journey, from the traditional foreman, hard hat firmly in place on the job site, directly supervising the
This
work.
person really hands-on with the craft.
Yeah, all the way to the strategic executive making critical high-level decisions from the head office.
A very different role.
Completely.
Yep.
We'll explore the pivotal shifts that have utterly reshaped this essential profession, transforming it into the sophisticated discipline we know today.
It's been quite an evolution.
Our mission in this deep dive is really to unpack how industry leaders,
Mm.
people like Sidney M. Levy, Halpin and Sr., and Barbara Jackson,
Yeah.
how they've not just tweaked, but fundamentally redefined the role of the project manager.
Key figures, definitely.
We'll be highlighting best practices in areas that are just non-negotiable for success.
Right.
Things like razor-sharp scheduling, ironclad cost control.
And that nuanced art of contract administration, it's crucial.
Exactly. You'll discover how today's construction manager is a true expert, expertly balancing the intricate demands of people, process, and profit.
To bring these ambitious architectural and infrastructural visions to vibrant life.
So whether you're a seasoned professional who lives and breathes the construction world, maybe a curious student just starting your journey, or simply someone who marvels at the sheer scale and ingenuity of modern construction,
Yeah.
this deep dive is your shortcut. It's your express pass to understanding the complex, dynamic, and, ever-evolving world that literally builds our physical environment.
Hopefully, yeah.
Get ready for some serious aha moments, because we're about to peel back the layers on how our world gets built.
Let's do it. It's interesting, to consider that the very idea of organized building, it isn't a modern invention at all.
Right, it goes way back.
Way back, even in ancient times when humanity embarked on truly massive construction projects, think monumental temples, vast aqueducts transporting water for miles.
Incredible feats of engineering.
Absolutely. Or the foundations of early cities. The sheer scale demanded some form of coordination and oversight.
You couldn't just have everyone doing their own thing.
No way. The Roman architect Vitruvius, writing over 2 millennia ago, actually observed something quite profound.
What was that?
He noted that architects who have aimed at acquiring manual skill without scholarship have never been able to reach a position of authority.
So just being good with your hands wasn't enough.
Not for leadership, apparently, he continues. But those who have a thorough knowledge of both have the sooner attained their object and carried authority with them.
Both skill and scholarship.
Exactly. It's this early, almost prophetic recognition that to truly lead a complex building endeavor, you needed both deep technical know-how and a broader intellectual understanding of the project's entire scope.
It sounds like a clear precursor to what we now call modern management.
It really does. But for centuries, the reality was different. Project leadership largely emerged directly from craft expertise.
So the best builder became the boss.
Pretty much. You'd find that the most skilled mason, the most experienced carpenter, or the most proficient builder on a site would naturally step into the role of foreman.
Makes sense in a way.
It did. Their primary focus, their day-to-day reality, was the direct, hands-on supervision of physical labor and the immediate execution of tasks. They were masters of the physical work, ensuring quality and progress right there, in the thick of it.
Hard hat on, tools nearby.
Literally. They understood the craft, the materials, the laborers, but their scope was primarily limited to the physical act of building.
And for a long time, that hands-on approach worked perfectly fine, right? For the scale of projects back then.
It did. But then, as the Project Management Institute, or PMI, points out, everything started to change dramatically.
Okay, what happened?
Well, PMI highlights how emerging technology, new approaches, and rapid market changes disrupted our ways of working, driving the project management profession to evolve.
So it wasn't just one thing.
Not at all. This wasn't just about a new power tool or a faster delivery truck. We're talking profound systemic shifts.
Which demanded entirely new ways of thinking.
And planning and executing complex projects. The whole world of construction was becoming fundamentally different.
And the projects themselves, they just got bigger and more complicated.
Exponentially. We moved from building relatively simple structures to orchestrating massive infrastructure developments.
Like highways, massive bridges.
Exactly. And while ancient examples like Palladio's bridge designs or Vitruvius's aqueducts were ingenious,
Definitely.
today we're dealing with vastly more complex materials and interconnected systems. Think about advanced concrete mixtures with specific performance needs, intricate steel framing.
Sophisticated HVAC systems, those amazing glass curtain walls you see everywhere.
Right, like you see in Francis D.K. Ching's illustrations. This massive surge in complexity demanded a far more organized, systemic, and yes, truly intellectual approach.
You simply couldn't foreman your way through that anymore.
Not effectively. You couldn't oversee every nail and every joint yourself on that scale.
So this growing complexity, it naturally led to a push for professionalization, making it more of a distinct career path.
Precisely. Organizations like the Project Management Institute itself stepped up, becoming pivotal players.
Ah, the PMI again?
Yes. They established foundational documents like the Standard for Project Management and the famous PMBO Guide, a guide to the project management body of knowledge.
The PMBOK guide, right. I've heard of that.
Now, PMI is clear. They say they have no power, nor does it undertake to police or enforce compliance.
So they're not the construction police.
No. But what they did do was create a common language, a shared framework, and a set of defined best practices.
Basically saying this is what good project management looks like.
Exactly. It gave the industry a blueprint for professional excellence, moving it from, a craft-based trade to a recognized professional discipline.
That's a huge shift.
It is. And you see the shift clearly reflected in the PMBOK guide itself. It outlines 12 principles and 8 project performance domains.
Okay.
And these aren't just bullet points. They're a comprehensive framework showing how the project manager's focus expanded dramatically beyond just being on site.
So what kind of things are we talking about?
We're talking about a role that takes a holistic view, managing intricate stakeholder relationships, nurturing diverse teams, understanding the project's product, choosing development approaches, meticulous planning,
Overseeing the actual work, delivery, measurement.
and proactively managing uncertainty. It's a huge scope, far beyond just getting the building built.
It sounds much more strategic.
Absolutely. And this evolution from hands-on foreman to executive strategist is really clear when you look at the responsibilities of the project sponsor, as the PMBOK guide describes them.
The sponsor,
Yeah.
they're not just funding it.
Oh, much more than that. They're the project's champion at the highest level. They're expected to communicate the vision, goals, and expectations.
Okay.
Advocate for the project and the team, facilitate executive-level decisions, help secure resources, keep projects aligned to business objectives.
So connecting the project to the bigger company goals.
Precisely. Remove obstacles, address issues outside the project team's authority, bring opportunities to senior management, monitor project outcomes after closure.
Wow, that's definitely an executive level strategic role.
It is directly connecting projects to organizational value and long-term business objectives. They make sure building that new highway isn't just about concrete and steel, but that it serves the region's economic goals.
That perspective really resonates with Peter Drucker's ideas about management, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Drucker famously said, managers practice management, they do not practice economics, quantification, behavioral science. These are tools for the manager.
Right. Tools.
He practices management. This insight is crucial because it positions management and modern construction management not just as an extension of technical work, but as its own professional discipline.
So it requires its own dedicated set of skills.
Yes. Fundamentally separate from, yet leveraging, the technical tools. So a modern construction manager isn't just technically competent. They're professionally trained in the art and science of management itself. They understand leadership, organization, strategy.
That's a powerful idea, management as its own distinct profession, especially in construction where, technical skill was traditionally king. But did that shift meet resistance? Was it hard for the old guard to accept that maybe the best mason wasn't necessarily the best manager?
Oh, absolutely, host. Any fundamental shift in a long-standing industry faces resistance, of course.
Human nature, I suppose.
Exactly. But the growing complexity and the sheer scale of projects, well, they simply made the old model unsustainable. The market demanded a different kind of leader.
One who could handle more than just the physical build.
Right. Someone who could coordinate highly specialized teams, manage vast sums of money, navigate complex legal frameworks. The necessity of it all, the scale and complexity, really forced the industry to embrace this new breed of executive strategist,
So less about challenging the craftsperson's authority.
and more about recognizing that a different, broader skill set was needed at the helm. That scholarship Vitruvius talked about, it became even more vital.
Okay, that makes sense. Necessity driving change.
Now that we've kind of wrapped our heads around how construction management evolved, let's zoom in a bit. What are the essential tools and tactics these executive strategists actually use?
Right, the nitty-gritty.
Yeah. It seems like it all has to start with meticulous planning and scheduling, the backbone of any project, right? Absolutely fundamental. And Barbara Jackson introduces a really indispensable tool for this, the work breakdown structure, or WBS.
WBS.
She explains it's crucial for estimators. It allows them to organize and identify the work of the project by breaking each division of work into a separate work package or bid package.
So bringing the big project down into smaller, manageable chunks.
Exactly. The core insight here is that the systematic decomposition is vital because it ensures that absolutely nothing gets overlooked. No step, no material, no tiny detail.
Like whether you're planning for different types of masonry on a skyscraper,
From unreinforced to reinforced or structural clay tile,
or designing a complex roof system with all its layers.
metal decking, wood beams, waterproofing, insulation. A solid WBS is the foundation. It's how you meticulously account for everything from concrete formwork to, say, elaborate wall flashing, making sure every single piece is identified before you start building or budgeting.
That detailed breakdown seems essential.
Building on that, Halpin and Senior provide really deep insights into mastering the timeline through scheduling networks.
Okay, so how do they map that out?
They introduce activity on node, or AON, diagrams. Think of it like the project's detailed road route.
Like a flowchart.
Pretty much. Each box or node is a task, and the arrows show exactly which task has to finish before the next one can even begin. You visually map the entire sequence, understand all the dependencies.
So you know what has to happen when.
Precisely. And what's crucial here is their introduction of float.
Float with that.
It's essentially the flexibility you have in an activity schedule without delaying the entire project, the wiggle room.
Ah, okay. Like spare time for a task.
Sort of. And they don't stop there.
Mm.
Halpin and Senior break down float into different types, which gives managers different ways to look at that flexibility.
Different kinds of float.
Yeah. You have total float, the maximum delay possible for a task without pushing back the project's final finish date.
Okay. The overall buffer.
Then there's interfering float. A delay here might not affect the final date, but it will eat into the float available for the tasks that come after it.
So it impacts downstream flexibility.
Exactly. And finally, independent float. That's your absolute, no strings attached, personal delay time for a task, even if everything else around it goes wrong.
Got it. That seems really granular.
It is. But the key insight, the aha moment, is understanding these isn't just academic. It's like a project manager's superpower.
How so?
It tells you exactly where you have flexibility, where you need to be rigid, and critically, where a small delay now could cause a much bigger headache later. This isn't just scheduling, it's proactive risk mitigation built right into your timeline. Think about a highway project. Every component, earthworks, paving, structures, is interconnected. Understanding float is vital.
So understanding these floats leads us directly to the concept of the critical path, right?
Right.
Barbara Jackson really underlined its importance.
Absolutely. The critical path is the sequence of tasks that dictates the minimum project duration. If any activity on that path slips.
The whole project slips.
Yeah,
It's the backbone of the schedule.
it is.
But, it sounds so clear-cut on paper. How often does that critical path actually shift or, surprise managers mid-project?
That's a great question, host, because while it sounds clear-cut, the critical path is dynamic. It can absolutely shift.
Really? Why?
Unforeseen issues, resource conflicts, changes in scope. It happens all the time, which is exactly why Halpin and Senior introduce resource leveling.
Resource leveling. What's that about?
It's not just about scheduling tasks in order. It's about distributing optimally to achieve a smooth workflow.
Okay, smoothing things out.
Think about it. Imagine a sudden boom and bust in the number of plumbers or electricians needed on a hotel renovation site.
Yeah.
Huge disruptions, wasted time, higher costs.
Right, inefficient.
Resource leveling aims to avoid those disruptive fluctuations in staffing, which directly leads to higher productivity, keeps costs down, and crucially boosts worker motivation and morale.
So it's about a sustainable pace for the team.
Exactly. Optimizing who is where and when, minimizing idle time, preventing burnout.
That leads into the idea that Things rarely go exactly as planned, doesn't it?
The PMBOK guide provides a crucial dose of reality here. It states, a project rarely performs exactly as initially planned.
No kidding.
Internal factors, external factors, new requirements, unforeseen issues like, say, finding asbestos during that hotel renovation.
Or maybe shifting stakeholder demands.
Exactly. These things inevitably emerge. This reality means you need more than just a plan. You need to cultivate adaptability and resilience.
Being able to roll with the punches.
And having robust capabilities like managing and adapting to change during the project lifecycle, always with a holistic view, like having a proper change control process to avoid scope creep.
Scope creep, yeah, the project just keeps getting bigger.
Right. And the key insight from PMBOK is the emphasis on continuous learning. Practices like lessons learned and retrospectives are critical for improving future outcomes, building organizational knowledge.
So every project is a chance to learn.
It has to be. It's a dynamic, iterative process, not a static plan.
That dynamic approach makes me think of lean principles. I heard about something called the Last Planner System, LPS.
Ah, yes. That's a really powerful application. The Practitioner's Guide to Essential Lean Research dives deep into this. LPS isn't just about a master schedule.
What's different?
It specifies tasks, but crucially, it focuses on ensuring those tasks are made ready.
Made ready.
Think of a chef prepping a complex meal. They don't just start cooking, they make sure all ingredients are prepped, pots ready, oven preheated, their mise en place.
Okay, getting everything set up first.
LPS is that mise en place for construction, ensuring every task is truly ready, materials on site, design questions answered, previous work complete before you commit to doing it.
So for our historic hotel renovation, if those custom windows are delayed.
Or the intricate plaster details aren't finalized, LPS flags it immediately. It prevents crews from showing up just to stand around idle.
That sounds incredibly practical.
It is. The system uses metrics like tasks made ready, TMR, and tasks anticipated, TA, to measure the team's ability to foresee and eliminate these constraints. It's a real-time adaptive layer on top of the baseline schedule. Absolutely crucial for dynamic environments like that hotel renovation, where details and existing conditions demand flexibility and rapid adjustments.
Okay, fascinating. Now, let's pivot slightly. Let's talk about the money, the financial engine of these projects.
Always critical.
Cost management. Barbara Jackson highlights it's not just a detail. It's one of the 4 primary project values to be managed, monitored, and controlled.
Right up there with time, scope, and quality.
And truly effective cost control, keeping things on budget. It starts long before construction, right?
Yeah.
Precise estimation.
Absolutely foundational. And what's key here is quantity takeoff, or sometimes called quantity surveying.
Quantity takeoff.
Halpin and Senior define this as the development of the quantities of work to be placed in appropriate units, for example, square feet, cubic yards, etc. Meticulous detail here isn't just nice, it's essential.
So counting every single thing.
Pretty much. They warn that common errors happen frequently here, underscoring the need for rigorous, meticulous procedures. Just imagine trying to accurately estimate materials for a complex concrete wall system, columns, slabs, formwork, rebar.
Or an entire roofing system with all its layers.
It's not a robust, error-free takeoff process. A miscalculation here can have cascading disastrous effects on the budget. Huge cost overruns on a highway or skyscraper.
So getting those quantities right is step 1. Then you need to track the actual spending, right?
Exactly. Barbara Jackson details how modern contractors use cost codes to meticulously track expenses.
Cost codes, like account numbers.
Sort of, but often highly structured. For example, a code like CSI Division 072129 might pop up. CSI is the Construction Specifications Institute, and their divisions categorize everything, like a universal library system for construction components.
So that code points to something specific.
Yes, SU 072129 would point directly to a specific kind of building insulation. This allows for incredibly precise cost tracking.
And that lets you compare actual spending to the budget.
Instantly. You can compare the actual cost to do the building insulation with the budgeted amount and note any discrepancies. It provides immediate, invaluable feedback for cost control.
So you can course correct quickly if needed.
That's the goal. Accurate, granular cost coding gives managers that real-time visibility.
What about costs that aren't direct materials or labor? Things like site management, temporary power.
Ah, the project indirect costs. Halpin and Senior break these down meticulously. Things like hauling trash, temporary facilities, site supervision essential, but often overlooked in simple estimates.
Right. How are those handled?
They explain these should be precisely projected during estimating and included as individual line items in the bid. However,
Yes.
they note that many contractors actually prefer a simpler approach. They calculate all direct costs, then apply a flat rate percentage
Full
factor,
percentage of markup.
yeah, to cover both these field indirects and the home office fixed overhead. So for example, if direct costs are $200,000 and they use a 20% factor, that adds $40,000. Then they layer on, say, a 10% profit margin.
Bringing the total bid to $264,000.
Exactly. This example really illustrates the importance of comprehensive financial modeling. It's not just raw material and labor, it's accounting for all the layers of expense and expected return to ensure profitability.
So we've tracked costs. But how do these massive projects actually get funded in the first place? Big loans, usually.
Often, yes. Halpin and Senior delve into construction loans, which are a bit unique. Banks might have a long-term guarantee for repayment eventually, but the short-term risks for them can be huge if a project stalls.
They're betting on the contractor finishing that multi-million-dollar highway or skyscraper.
Precisely. What if the entrepreneur or contractor faces financial difficulties mid-construction? If they can't finish, the construction lender might have to step in and complete the job themselves.
Which is a massive headache and financial risk for the bank.
Huge. So these risks are typically offset partly by a discount, 1 to 2%, which is deducted from the loan before any money is disbursed.
So, like paying some interest up front.
Effectively, if you want $1,060,000, you might only receive $1,020,000, paying $40,000 in upfront interest, essentially.
Okay. And do lenders check out the construction team carefully?
Oh, absolutely. To mitigate risks, lenders often require a deep dive into the financial health and track record of everyone involved, the main contractor, key subcontractors, the design architect. They scrutinize finances, capabilities, current workloads.
And they often require contractors to be bonded, right? What does that mean?
That brings us to another critical aspect of financial control and risk management bonds, which also ties into managing uncertainty.
Okay, like insurance.
Sort of. Barbara Jackson defines contingencies as an amount of money added to an estimate to cover unknown conditions or risk factors, your rainy day fund for the unexpected.
Makes sense. You always need a buffer.
And contractors don't leave this to chance. Jackson explains they formalize a pre-bid risk assessment. They might use a scale, say 0 for low risk, 3 for high risk.
To quantify the potential unknowns.
Exactly. This systematic approach helps them decide whether to bid at all, or if they do, whether to increase their profit margin or contingencies, or maybe even consider a joint venture to show the risks.
That sounds very strategic.
It is. This proactive, almost scientific approach to risk management is a hallmark of modern construction management. Anticipating the future, building in financial buffers, rather than just hoping for the best.
Okay, let's shift gears again slightly. Let's talk contracts.
Yeah.
The bedrock of any project, surely.
Absolutely critical. Sidney M. Levy emphasizes the importance of clear, unambiguous contractual agreements.
No room for misunderstandings.
He gives a sharp warning. When awarding subcontracts, avoid vague phrases like, to include plans and specifications.
Why? Seems straightforward.
Because, he advises, instead, use a scope letter defining the scope of work more specifically. The subcontractor's interpretation of those plans might be wildly different from yours.
Ah, I see. Potential for disputes.
Huge potential. Imagine on an intricate highway project, a slight misinterpretation of paving depths, abutment designs, bridge structures. It could lead to massive rework and delays.
So, specificity is key.
Proactive clarification right at the outset is the only way. Specificity in contracts is your strongest defense against future disagreements and cost overruns.
And this ties back to those bonds you mentioned earlier, financial backstops.
Exactly. Halpin and Senior introduce various types of bonds that provide critical financial protection.
Okay, like what?
First, bid bonds. They call these a lead parachute. They ensure that if a contractor is selected, they will actually enter into the contract. If they back out, the surety covers the cost difference for the owner.
So it guarantees the winning bidder signs the deal.
Right. Then performance bonds. These protect the owner if the contractor fails to complete the project according to the contract documents. A huge safeguard against unfinished or shoddy work, especially vital for something like that large hotel renovation.
Protects against poor quality or abandonment.
And finally, payment bonds. These safeguard the owner if the prime contractor fails to pay their subcontractors or vendors, prevents liens, ensures fair play down the supply chain.
So everyone who should get paid does get paid.
That's the idea. These bonds aren't just formalities. They are critical components of risk mitigation, ensuring financial stability and accountability throughout the project.
Okay, but what happens when the unexpected does happen mid-project?
Yeah.
Changes are inevitable, right?
Absolutely. That's where change order work comes in. Sydney M. Levy details how these arise owner requests, maybe time and material work for unforeseen issues, premium time for speeding things up, even unexpected winter conditions.
Things not in the original plan.
Exactly. And his golden rule: simple but powerful. Get it in writing.
Document everything.
He warns against verbal commitments being disavowed later, maybe by new team members who weren't there for the handshake deal.
Good point.
From the owner's side, Levy explains change orders often happen because, well, plans and specifications that are not perfect. It's a classic pay me now or pay me later scenario.
Design issues pop up during construction.
Exactly. Deficiencies, errors, inconsistencies become apparent only as work progresses. This is especially true for complex renovations, like a hotel, where existing conditions always reveal hidden surprises.
Like finding unexpected pipes or structural issues.
Right. Things that need adjustments to custom doors, intricate plaster, specialized bathroom fixtures. Without clear, written change orders, these situations can quickly spiral into costly disputes and project delays. The lesson: document absolutely everything.
That need for documentation seems intense. How do they manage things like shop drawings, those detailed plans for specific components?
Levy outlines a robust shop drawing management system for that. It's not just paperwork, it's a critical control mechanism.
What does it involve?
Creating a meticulous tracking log, monitoring document flow weekly, providing written notification for delays, even issuing formal warning letters for continued holdups.
So actively managing that flow of information.
Yes. He notes this becomes a major weapon in the battle to assign responsibility in case of light product or equipment deliveries. It ensures the smooth flow of materials, specialized wall flashing, custom precast panels, bespoke windows. Without discipline here, the schedule grinds to a halt.
Makes sense. And when disputes do happen, despite all this planning, is it straight to court?
Hopefully not. Modern contracts often build in other pathways. Levy highlights that the AIA A201 General Conditions document a foundational text requires mediation and arbitration to resolve disputes prior to resorting to litigation.
Trying less adversarial methods first.
Exactly. And this is profoundly helpful because, as Levy points out, a $15,000 claim denied by an architect or owner cannot be realistically pursued by litigation because the cost to do so may exceed the amount claimed.
Litigation is just too expensive for smaller issues.
Right. It's expensive, time-consuming, adversarial. This structured approach, using mediation and arbitration, saves significant time and money for everyone, allowing projects to move forward instead of getting bogged down in court. Smart contracts build in ways to resolve conflict efficiently.
That legal framework seems crucial. What about labor laws? Do managers need to worry about those too?
Absolutely, especially as laws vary. Halpin and Senior touch on this, delving into labor relations and legislation. They mention Section 14B of the Taft-Hartley Act.
Okay.
This federal law lets individual states pass right-to-work statutes. These laws can forbid union shop labor agreements that require union membership as a condition of employment.
So states can decide if union membership is mandatory on certain jobs.
Yes. And some state laws go further, outlawing agency shop arrangements where even non-union workers must pay union fees. Understanding these nuanced legal landscapes is crucial for managers, as labor agreements vary dramatically state by state. It directly impacts staffing, cost, scheduling, especially on projects like a highway crossing state lines.
Wow, another layer of complexity. How do general contractors ensure their subcontractors perform as promised?
Contracts provide leverage there too. Sidney and Levy gives an example of a strict contract clause, option 3, that general contractors can use.
What does it allow?
It allows the general contractor to take over the sub's work or even terminate the subcontract entirely if the sub fails to perform. Reasons could be bankruptcy, not having enough skilled workers, failing to push the work forward diligently, allowing liens, interfering with other trades.
So, serious consequences for non-performance.
It really underscores the serious legal framework governing project execution. It gives the general contractor leverage to maintain control and keep the project on track, which is critical when managing that complex web of trades on a big scale. The general contractor writes a single check payable to both the subcontractor and their material supplier. Both have to endorse it. It acts as a safeguard.
Ensures the supplier gets paid.
Exactly. However, Levy also points out a critical danger flag.
Oh,
If a subcontractor with a previously solid credit history suddenly starts requesting joint checks on a new project, it can signal potential financial distress.
why?
It prompts the question, are they unable to get adequate credit from their supplier otherwise? It shows how astute managers must read between the lines of financial requests to spot and mitigate risks before a small problem blows up.
Okay, we've covered process, finance, contracts.
Hmm.
But let's turn now to maybe the most complex and arguably most vital component, people.
Absolutely. The human element.
The PMBOK guide really emphasizes this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With the stakeholder performance domain.
It does. It makes it clear that project management isn't just managing contracts or schedules. It's fundamentally about stakeholder engagement.
So, dealing with everyone involved or affected.
Actively working collaboratively with stakeholders to introduce the project, elicit their requirements, manage expectations, resolve issues, negotiate, prioritize, problem solve, and make decisions. It's not passive.
Sounds like it requires a lot of soft skills.
Definitely. Things like active listening, strong interpersonal skills, conflict management, and beyond that, true leadership skills, establishing a clear vision, critical thinking.
Yeah.
You have to be a communicator, a diplomat.
Navigating that complex web of relationships, whether it's the city council for a highway project or the demanding owner of a luxury hotel renovation.
Precisely. And the PMBOK guide goes deeper, acknowledging how fluid human dynamics are.
How so?
It says project managers must seek to understand stakeholders' feelings, emotions, beliefs, and values, because these can lead to additional threats or opportunities.
And they can also change quickly. People aren't static.
Exactly. Think about it. A seemingly minor emotional shift from a key stakeholder, maybe a community group worried about environmental impact, could derail a critical decision on that highway project.
So analyzing things like stakeholder power and impact isn't a one-off task.
No, it's an ongoing, dynamic action throughout the project, a constant pulse check on the human heart of the project, understanding perspectives shift.
That human element. What about motivating the actual team doing the work?
Barbara Jackson offers a really insightful perspective here. She states, quite powerfully, that the number one motivator for human beings is that they want to make a difference.
More than money.
She emphasizes that the chance to make a difference beats money or any other extrinsic factor. What truly drives employees, she explains, is a good boss.
What makes a good boss in this context?
Someone who cares about them, coaches them, and listens to their ideas, and most importantly, acknowledges them and their contributions.
Recognition matters.
Hugely, given that, as she says, over 60% of the American workforce feels invisible at work. Simply being noticed becomes a very big deal.
Wow, that's a fundamental truth for managers. Valuing human contribution is key.
Paramount for fostering an engaged, productive team culture, tapping into that intrinsic desire to contribute meaningfully.
But building that team feeling must be hard, especially in construction, where teams often come together just for one project.
That's a huge challenge. Jackson identifies building trust on a team as one of the more challenging aspects of construction project management.
Trust takes time.
Exactly. She references Patrick Lencioni's work, which pinpoints absence of trust as the number one challenge among teams. And it's particularly acute in construction because, as she notes, these are often temporary teams formed for a single project over a relatively short time.
You need to build cohesion fast.
Very fast. On a skyscraper project, you might have dozens of different contractor teams coming and going. Building trust quickly is paramount.
How did leadership theory address this?
It's fascinating how the PMBOK guide embraces shared leadership as a driver here.
Shared leadership, not just one person in charge.
Well, it explains that effective leadership promotes project success, creating an environment where each project team member can focus on delivering results, using a common vision, and working toward shared outcomes. This includes fostering an ethical and adaptable environment.
Okay.
But critically, the guide clarifies that shared leadership does not undermine or diminish the role or authority of a leader designated by the organization.
So it's not chaos.
No. Rather, it creates a more empowered, collaborative atmosphere. Leadership responsibilities can be distributed, leveraging the expertise and initiative of everyone, leading to greater collective ownership and better outcomes.
That idea of collective ownership seems to link to how we view accountability, too.
It does. Barbara Jackson offers a really refreshing and I think profoundly important perspective here, challenging the common blame game.
What does she say?
She boldly states that any failure associated with any part of the project should be levied against the team as a whole. The entire team either succeeds together or they fail together.
Wow. succeed or fail together.
It's a radical shift from individual blame to collective accountability. And it's not just about being nice.
What's the benefit?
When a team knows they sink or swim together, they naturally shift from finger-pointing to problem-solving. It cultivates psychological safety. People are more likely to flag issues early, learn from mistakes, genuinely collaborate, because the win or loss belongs to everyone.
Fosters true teamwork. Essential for that complex hotel renovation where trades have to coordinate perfectly.
Exactly.
Looking at leadership more broadly, Peter Drucker had some thoughts on this too, right? Something about despotism.
Yes, Drucker offered a powerful caution against psychological despotism. He likened it to enlightened despotism in politics, arguing it cannot work. It requires universal genius on the part of the ruler.
No manager knows everything or understands everyone perfectly.
Impossible. Drucker asserted a manager cannot possibly have insight into all kinds of people, or empathy for all his subordinates to that degree. Instead, he said, a manager must accept it as his job to make worker and working achieving.
Focus on enabling people to succeed.
Yes. A profound shift away from command and control theory X towards a more empowering, yet still demanding, approach, enabling workers to achieve, be productive, contribute their full potential, empowering, not just directing.
And does the PMBOK guide echo this need for flexibility in leadership?
It directly reinforces the need for tailoring leadership styles based on the situation and team needs.
So, not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Definitely not. It gives concrete examples. Appreciating and rewarding positive behaviors, providing opportunities for skill growth, facilitating collaborative decision-making, employing effective conversations and active listening, and empowering project team members and delegating responsibilities.
Being adaptable.
Absolutely key for managers navigating diverse project environments, from a fast-paced tech renovation to a long-term highway build. Being flexible and responsive to the human needs of the project, not just the technical ones. Understanding what motivates different people. It's really fascinating how the industry keeps evolving towards more collaborative ways to deliver value.
Like breaking down silos.
Exactly. Barbara Jackson shines a light on integrated project delivery, or IPD. She defines it as any delivery form that brings the contractor on board as a core team member right from the onset of design.
So, involving the builder much earlier than traditional methods.
Much earlier. It's a fundamental shift. Instead of design finishing, then being handed off to the contractor, IPD means the contractor actively contributes their expertise on constructability, costs, labor availability, scheduling during the design phase.
Why is that so beneficial?
This early engagement is critical for preventing common pitfalls, delays, cost overruns, unbuildable details that often plague traditional methods. It fosters collaborative creation, avoids costly surprises later. Huge difference for complex projects like a new skyscraper.
Collaboration from day one.
And a cornerstone of IPD, as Jackson explains, is an open book philosophy.
Open book. Everyone sees the numbers.
Essentially, yes. It means a practice of information transparency among all the project parties. This transparency leads to open dialogue, a better understanding of the design and its impact on budgets and schedules.
Seems crucial for complex jobs.
Think about that large hotel renovation again. Coordinating countless elements, foundations, damp-proofing, concrete slabs, finishes like tile, wood flooring, plaster, ceilings. It's incredibly challenging without transparency. IPD's open book approach means everyone has a clearer picture, shares info freely, leading to better alignment and more predictable outcomes.
Okay, IPD is one big shift. What about the digital revolution? Building information modeling. BIM.
BIM, huge impact. Jackson highlights how BIM is expanding way beyond the 3D dimension to a whole new level, applying 4D, 5D, 6D, even 7D.
More than just a 3D model, then.
Much more. It's creating a rich, interconnected digital twin of the project. 4D links the model to the schedule, visualizing progress over time.
You can see the building going up digitally.
Right. 5D integrates cost for real-time budget tracking. 6D incorporates sustainability metrics. And 7D is all about facility management over the entire life cycle.
Wow, that's comprehensive.
It means BIM, especially combined with cost estimating, gives unprecedented accuracy and visualization for complex cost models. It also allows for much more robust risk identification and analysis, feeding directly into proactive risk management.
Can you give an example?
Sure. For our skyscraper project, 4D BIM means you see when each beam arrives and how long it takes to erect, visualizing progress in the model. For the hotel, 7D BIM means every custom door, every light fixture is in the model, linked to its maintenance schedule and warranty. Makes facility management incredibly efficient long after construction. It's truly revolutionary.
That focus on the life cycle ties into sustainability too, doesn't it? It's become huge in construction.
A fundamental imperative now, not optional. Sidney M. Levy touches on this, noting the value of sustainability using waste and recycled wood products to create new products that are more durable and more maintenance-free than the virgin wood.
So, circular economy thinking. Waste becomes a resource.
Exactly. Extending lifespan, reducing environmental impact.
Charles Kuebert's work takes this even further, right? With whole building design.
Yes, Kibert meticulously defines this. It's not just picking green materials. It's where the building's structure, envelope, interior components, mechanical and electrical systems, and even its site orientation are viewed holistically.
Looking at everything together.
Everything. How the building interacts with its site, energy use, material impacts, indoor air quality, acoustics, natural resources, and critically, the interrelationship between all these factors.
What kind of strategies does that involve?
Things like minimizing urban heat island effects with reflective roofing, eliminating light pollution with careful exterior lighting,
Oh.
using natural wetlands for stormwater management, creating buildings in harmony with their environment, aiming for long-term ecological and economic benefits.
Are there standard ways to measure this, like LEED?
LEED is well known, yes,
Right.
but Kubert also introduces green globes as a robust alternative.
Green globes.
It provides a rating of 1 to 4 globes and, he notes, is more detailed than LEED and addresses far more specific issues. It covers categories like project management, emissions, water, resources, indoor environment.
So multiple systems pushing for better performance?
Exactly. The existence of systems like green globes shows the increasing complexity and formalization of sustainable practices. It pushes managers to consider environmental impacts in ever greater detail. It's not a simple checklist. It's a deep dive into performance and a commitment to building better, more resilient structures.
It's great to see these principles actually working in the real world.
Absolutely. The principles of IPD and lean construction from Jackson and the lean research have moved far beyond theory. They've achieved remarkable successes.
Any examples?
The lean research points to projects like the Quail Run Behavioral Health Hospital, St. Anthony Hospital, the Akron Children's Hospital, Kay Jewelers Pavilion.
Healthcare seems to be embracing this.
Yes, these aren't just buildings. They're powerful testaments to how highly effective collaboration among the owner, the prime designer, and the prime constructor truly leads to improved outcomes, better schedules, lower costs, higher quality, increased safety. This collaborative ecosystem is driving immense value.
But it's not always smooth sailing, even with the best intentions.
No, construction management constantly learns from challenges. Think about high-profile projects like the Bank of America Tower in New York, achieved a LEED Platinum, very prestigious.
Right.
But initially it faced credibility problems because its actual energy performance was frankly unremarkable compared to older buildings.
Really? Even with a platinum rating?
Yes. As Kiebert explains, this highlighted a crucial learning curve. The need for more rigorous actual energy performance mandates in green building certifications, especially for core and shell projects where predicting tenant energy use is tough.
So the real world is always more complex than the plan.
Always. It shows the continuous learning and adaptation that defines modern construction management, even at the highest levels, translating goals into tangible, measurable performance, and always refining the process.
So pulling it all together, from theory to practice, today's construction manager really is operating at this intersection of complex logistics and sophisticated human dynamics.
Absolutely.
Think about a massive highway project. It's not just concrete and bridges. It's meticulous planning for traffic flow, minimizing disruption, controlling vast budgets against cost overruns, orchestrating hundreds of moving parts.
A huge logistical challenge.
Or that luxury hotel renovation. It demands almost orchestral coordination of specialized trades, master plasterers, glaziers, flooring installers, while maintaining guest comfort, meeting strict safety standards like ADA guidelines, and executing with rapid turnaround times to minimize lost revenue.
Balancing countless competing priorities.
These aren't just building exercises anymore, are they? They're profound logistical, financial, and human management challenges.
Expertly guided, ideally, by today's sophisticated construction manager. Hashtag tag tag outro.
So as we've journeyed from ancient building principles all the way to today's integrated digital models, it's abundantly clear. Modern construction management is a world away from just barking orders on a job site.
A completely different landscape.
It's not just a trade, it's a sophisticated, multidisciplinary profession. We've seen how it balances the detailed, pragmatic insights of Sidney and Levy on contracts and disputes,
With the scientific scheduling precision championed by Halpin and Senior.
and Barbara Jackson's deep understanding of team dynamics, motivation, and those innovative delivery methods like IPD and BIM.
A real synthesis of skills.
The construction manager today. We really are an executive strategist, fluent in complex financial models, adept at navigating intricate legal frameworks, pioneering new technologies, and maybe most importantly, masters in the art of motivating, empowering, and unifying diverse teams towards a common, incredibly complex goal.
Yeah, that human element is key.
They're the architects of execution, expertly managing people, optimizing processes, and ensuring profitability to create the very built environment that surrounds us, shaping our world one project at a time.
It's a huge responsibility. And considering the relentless increase in project complexity, the non-negotiable imperative for sustainability, and the breathtaking pace of technological change.
Yeah, it's not slowing down.
Not at all. It raises an important question for you, the listener. How will the role of the construction manager continue to evolve to meet the grand challenges of our future?
Good question.
It's not just about building bigger or faster anymore. It's about shaping communities, fostering resilience, innovating for a sustainable planet. What new soft skills, maybe even more emphasis on emotional intelligence, cross-cultural communication in a globalized world, and what new technological fluency will be most critical?
Especially in a world demanding ever more adaptable infrastructure and humane spaces.
Exactly. What's next for the construction manager? The journey is far from over.